What do you think will be the killer app for the metaverse?
It's funny because I used to flip that question the other way. I used to say the killer app for 5G and gigabit networks is the Xverse.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning there's been about like $1 trillion or more of global investment in high-speed gigabit networks, edge computing, all of this stuff. And I always ask myself, why is this happening? Like, what's it for? My phone gets fast enough music and video. I don't really need it for that. I don't really need it for much of anything on conventional computing, but you desperately need it for spatial computing, for spatial web, for Xverse. So I feel like there's been this massive, hundreds of billions, I think it's around $1 trillion plus globally, of this underlying infrastructure, which will build a spatial computing bottom that will allow wearable devices, drones, autonomous vehicles, robots to share a digital space. I think what's really interesting about this is that it's not limited to people and wearable devices, like IoT devices, flying things, self-driving cars, and us wearing devices will share this like physical digital space. And what it does, it gives us the ability to see the digital world that these machines already see on their own. Like near a self-driving car, it builds its own, metaverse. It builds its own Xverse already. It's got a map of the whole world. It reconstructs in 3D what's going on. We don't see that. Now we can see that. Now we could share a world with machines. Kind of makes us a little bit of a cyborg. But I feel like what we're doing is these machines that move in space, I think, are also spatial computing devices. Like a flying drone, a self-driving car is a compute device moving through space. It's not a PC sitting on a desk. So I feel like that the killer app is the other way. I think like this whole collective system is the killer app of that underlying network. And inside that will be millions of use cases. But since you asked, I think one of them that will be quite interesting is what you and I are doing right now. The pandemic heightened the idea of presence through video. Like we now have these like video meetings. In a perfect manifestation of like these future Xverses, you were meeting in my office, I'm meeting yours, and it feels like we've met in person. By the way, because of projects like MAKO, I've seen what a near perfect representation of a human being looks like. And it would be amazing if you go 4 or 5 years from now, you go to the end of the decade, you are in my office looking exactly like you or some cinematically perfect avatar. Or we're meeting in some virtual thing like the thing I'm in right now, like this home from the movie Incredibles, or wherever we want. But that meeting will feel from a visual, sound field, and maybe even tactile level, like haptics. It's going to feel like we really met, and you'll be able to go anywhere instantly. So this kind of leaping through space and time, I think is going to be a killer app because like basically you remove friction for travel, being there, meeting friends instantly. I think conferences will radically change. Like, why would you fly 7 hours to go to Los Angeles or Europe when you can have a near perfect experience, which is not what Zoom does today, but this next level of presence will do. And I don't mean like Nintendo Wii avatar presence. I'm talking like when you get it really right, which these gigabit networks, coming CPUs and GPUs, and like the generation of devices that I saw could be built, like, call it 2 or 3 generations from where we are, how perfect that will be. I think that is an amazing killer app because you jump through space, you jump through time, you can meet anywhere. I think it'll already change this like digital remote presence economy that grew because of the pandemic, and it'll cement it.